Also.
Okay, we have a public hearing tonight. 24-3W of Robert Steele requesting permission to install 52 linear feet of block retaining wall along Moosup Pond to establish a beach area water access on property located at 175 Ponto Road. Disturbance of 375 square feet of wetlands is proposed. Assessors map 1M2 block 115B lot 14.
Hey, good evening. For the record, my name is Greg Claude. I'm a licensed land surveyor and business partner at Killingley Engineering Associates with a place of business at 114 Westcott Road in Danielson. And I represent the applicant for this application tonight. So I see the plans have been put before you. It's an existing parcel of land, 0.6 acres, kind of on the north end of Moosup Pond. We got original approvals for this back in December of 2018 to build the house that's on the property, and over the last 7 years, the owner has built that house. There are some steep slopes that go down the property, then it kind of flattens out as it gets towards Moosup Pond. As you can see by the plan in front of you, there is an isolated wetlands that kind of jut into the land off of Moosup Pond. The area that we're looking to propose the retaining wall is on that northerly corner up along the shoreline. Basically, we're trying to obtain a little bit more usable area down the shoreline for the applicant. The area on my map that I've shaded is this triangle area that's in pink. That is the area that will be disturbed by the proposed fill that will be put in place. We will be pulling in 52 linear feet of a segmental retaining wall. It's kind of a block-like retaining wall. It'll be 2 feet total height, but 1 foot will be into the ground. And then that earth will be brought up behind it and stabilized afterwards. Part of our application is we are doing a mitigation area on what would be the west side of the wetlands, inland a little bit. We will create a wetland in that area to replicate what area of wetlands that we lose for this project. We have all of the notes on here that specify the type of seed and mixture that will go into that area. Basically, it's very low down there, so it's a matter of just removing some of that material and putting down the seed mix. It's very suitable for an area that will become a wetland in the future. We do have our detail for our segmental retaining wall. The activity will take place in its time when the water levels are not so high. There is no set time frame by the applicant as for when he will do this. But the lot that's to the north of him was approved for a similar design with a retaining wall, and it is quite possible that when that work is done, if this one's approved, that the work will be done together. But not necessarily the case, but just that way it would be a kind of continuous of the activity going on at the same time. I should also note that the wetlands report that was done in 2018 that was provided by this application from Joseph Thoreau, who's the soil scientist at Delineated Wetlands. He noted that the edge of the shoreline and the wetlands exhibited signs of past activities that a lot of this area had been hogged out. There was also a little channel, if you will, on the other side, kind of a hump between the water and between the edge of the land. Like some activity, historic activities had happened here. So this area has been disturbed. It's kind of stabilized now, of course. But our plan is to put this together. We would have silt fence, stake hay bales, would be placed all along the disturbed edges, and we kept in place until final stabilization, so we're not going to create any siltation into that adjacent wetlands. And that really is quite, frankly, what we're looking to permit, so we're seeking an application to do this. It is 375 square feet of wetlands disturbance. We'll be creating 375 more square feet replicated area to replace that. And I will turn it back over to you, to the commission. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Is the previous 290 square feet, is that already
Yeah, so previously it was 275, and that wetland area was created. That's the shaded area that you see behind here. I'm not 100% sure, know if it was created. If it wasn't, we'll make sure that both of them are. I didn't ask the applicant, but I think during the construction he wasn't sure whether it was done or not either. But that's that lighter shaded area there. That's the original area that was proposed to become a wetland.
Blocks are dry blocks?
Correct. Yeah.
Will they be in the water?
They'll be right on the edge of the water, so yes, they'll
Digging down.
digging down to the water, correct, and then they'll place them in the water. We'll have a row of safe hay bales kind of in just a little bit to try to help keep water out, but it's one of those things as they construct it, it's probably going to be a little time consuming to do.
Does the dock have to be removed?
I don't believe the dock is in place. Is the dock in place yet, Bob?
The dock comes out.
Okay, so it can come out, so it's a removable dock, so it'll be able to be removed.
Any other questions or comments?
This is a public hearing.
Would anybody else like to speak?
I just wanted to comment that I live next door. I'm 173.
Name
And
for-
I have, my problem is not
Hold on,
with the,
hold on,
what?
Excuse me, name for the record?
Excuse me?
Name for the record? Your name.
Diane Brackett. Thank you. And I'm not concerned necessarily with the wall and where it's going to be. I just don't want it to disrupt the drainage from the road. It's horrible already. Your street drains drain down between our two houses and go into supposed to go into the lake. There's a little cul-de-sac. And every one of these rains, it's all been going into basically what is my backyard in the bottom right at the lakeside. So I just wanted to make sure that in no way this was going to make it any worse than it is. That's all. And it doesn't look it from.
So I believe she's on this side here, and the culvert and the catch basin she's talking about discharges on her property. Then it's in a swale that goes all the way down and goes into this wetlands. And I know they've been experiencing difficulties with the last few rain events over the past month or so. And that is a stone line channel that goes down there that was created as part of our original plan. I think I've seen pictures of it, and it kind of got hammered pretty good because everything wasn't fully stabilized. Plus, there's some additional drainage that they're getting from, I believe, another driveway or something across the way.
There's a dirt road across the street left over from the logging that they did up on the hill, right opposite us. And basically the road has washed out, went across the street, went down the drains, and went between our houses. And then I had 5 inches of gravel on my grass. I had to plow it over into I didn't, but I paid somebody to plow it over into the side. It's really a mess. So it's not draining well, I guess is what I'm saying, the way it's set up. But I don't think that has a thing to do with where his wall is going to be, because that's on the other side.
So correct, yeah, that flow pattern is down
Yeah.
between their properties and into this wetland. Our activity is on the shoreline here, so we won't be blocking any of that, but I do
Yeah.
recognize that there has been some
Yeah.
problems over there as far as drainage and runoff, and possibly because of the severe storms that we've had.
Is that a new problem?
Is that kind of the
It was
first
a
time
new
it's happened?
problem since the logging. I've been there since '92, we never had any trouble.
Were they logging?
It was across the street up the hill. And they did not follow best management practices when creating the haul line. So we're trying to address that now.
It's not part of this application, but the town will address
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Just a comment, it's been a tough year for everybody. It's been a wet year.
Mhm.
I got to do work in my own backyard. Anybody else like to speak?
I would just like to say that when I pulled permits for the house, and when it was under construction, I had to put in all kinds of silt fence, which I did. And I pulled every permit that was necessary. And I'm not sure that the person across the street who's causing this drainage problem ever did that.
Your name was?
My name is Robert Seal.
Anybody else? Motion to close the public hearing if you have no more questions. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. We'll start a regular meeting. We'll go to roll call. Starting on my left with Ron.
Sean Peterson.
Tom Sinkwitz.
Ralph Wallace. Randy Stillwell.
Ryan Bright?
Call the meeting to order. We have any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Yes, we have two additions. 24-4W of Greg Lato requesting permission to fill 100 square feet of wetlands to install 20 feet of 15-inch CCP, which is pipe, within the town's drainage swale to construct a driveway and property located at 0 Spalding Road, Assessors Map 26, Block 10, Block 12-9W of Kylie Sangermano requesting permission to work within the upland review area to construct a 3-bedroom house, well, septic, and driveway and property located at 0 Lovers Lane, Assessors Map 8, Block 53A, Lot 118.
Make a motion to the add to the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, review and act on the minutes, the meeting of 3/19/24.
I didn't see anything in there. That's only ordinary. I make a motion to accept the minutes from March 19th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished old business, 24-3W of Robert Seal requesting permission to install 52 linear feet of block retaining wall along Moose's Pond to establish a beach area and water access on property located at 175 Pond Hill Road. Disturbance of 375 square feet of wetlands is proposed. Assessors Map 1MP, Block 115, Lot 14.
Applications consistent with numerous other applications that have been approved for the same thing. I make a motion to be approved 24-3W.
Before we do that, does staff have any comments?
No, this is pretty straightforward.
No conditions needed on that?
What's that?
No conditions needed or anything?
No, they're proposing hay bales in the pond. It's a relatively flat piece of land, so there's not going to be really any sediment movement even when it rains. So I don't see any issues with it.
I'll second Ralph's motion.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for your time this evening.
New business. New business. We can't act on these, so
We can't, but 24-4W of Greg Lato, he is looking to install a driveway for what will be a new house, and the drainage swale out in the front of the property, that is the town's drainage, qualifies as wetlands, and so they do need to cross that with a pipe. In my opinion, this is not a significant impact because the drainage swale is regularly maintained, dug out, so it's up to the commission if you consider it to be a significant impact and want to schedule a public hearing. I don't believe it's necessary in this case.
do have a plan for that, if they want to see that. I represent Mr. Leo on that. So this is basically an open field. There's a swale that runs along Spalding Road, and where we propose to cross. It'd be like, I rounded it up to 100 square feet of wetlands disturbance in that swale. But then it's a pipe that goes across the street onto the property.
So the altar, that's not attached to any other wetlands?
No, it's just a roadside swale. There's no larger wetlands here. We have larger wetlands on this property further back about 200, 300 feet. But this is just it's a wet field, so the water that comes off, it flows into the road. So at some point they constructed a swale and somebody installed, a catch basin or a pipe under the road. It's a historically wet area. So we
Your map shows an area that's not blue, that appears not to be wetlands. Why not use that?
Yeah, there is an access way there, just with the location of the septic system, trying to horseshoe around it, and since it was only a roadside swale, we thought this would, because then it gets hard to have an entrance driveway and everything to go inside the house that they're looking for on this one.
Is there a pipe connecting those two?
I'm not sure if there is, or if it's just an old farmer's thing. We're going to go investigate that a little bit more to see if there's a pipe there.
I don't believe it's a pipe under that crossing, and I think it's kind of interrupting the flow of the water, so we probably want to have that dug out as part of the permit. Right now, it's just an access to the fields, it's a farm crossing, and I don't think there was ever a pipe installed to get across.
I guess we have to decide if this is significant or not.
I make a motion we table 24-4W and do not consider it a significant activity, considering it's just a drainage swale.
Can I ask a question on why we table it, it's not to be considered significant?
It's got to be tabled, it's got to be tabled until next month, anyway. It's a new application.
All right.
We can't act on it.
Oh, thank you. I was just confused.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to put both pieces in it, table it till next month, and don't need a...
I second that.
So, we put in well, we can talk about it next week. Motion been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll see you next month.
Have something you want to comment you want to make so that we can potentially address it?
Well, I think if you're already addressing it, you connect these two.
Yeah, I'm going to go investigate that a little bit more, because I did notice that today too, so
This was a natural, what do you
see what's going on. I think the swales might be going in opposite directions, but I'm not sure. But I will check that out and find out.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Do you have anything on Kyle Sangamano?
It'll be Kylie, and we
Kylie.
just received that yesterday, and I've not really had a chance to review the plans, but there is no wetlands impact proposed, so I don't think we consider this to be a significant activity.
I'll make a motion that we table 24-9W of Kylie St. Germain to the next meeting.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Any age approvals?
We do not.
Citizen participation? Correspondence?
No correspondence.
Any complaints?
Nope.
Any other issues? The water running off the line area, you say you're going to...
We have been working with the property owner. So logging operations fall under agricultural activities, and they are managed by DEEP. And this individual did not do a very good job of creating a haul road, and it turned into basically a dirt road that now washes out. It also channelizes water down to the road, so we're working, the property owner is working with engineers to try to figure out a way to prevent that.
Is that impacting Moosa Pond?
No, it's not impacting Moosa Pond, but it is impacting neighbors.
Anybody else have anything? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?